Test 1, 2, mic check. NAIA National Championship.
And a good evening to you from the DeWitt Gym on the campus of Dordt University in Sioux Center, Iowa, site of the NAIA first and second round. This is the Sioux Center quadrant, and we've been reduced to two teams eliminated from the bracket yesterday. They were Iowa Wesleyan, who lost to the Dordt Defenders, and Science and Arts of Oklahoma. They were beaten by Mayville State in a mild upset last night. Good evening, my name's Mike Biker. I'll be describing the action to you from the DeWitt Gym balcony, high above the playing surface here at the DeWitt. I am looking down at just about dead center on midcourt, and that is how you will hear and give you a little sense of perspective on where we are at. The Dordt Defenders come into tonight's contest 28-3 overall, 20-2 in the conference, while Mayville State is in the round of 32 with a 24-5 overall mark and a 12-2 conference record in the North Star Athletic Association. The Dordt Defenders got here with the automatic berth out of the GPAC, one of two awarded. They were awarded the automatic berth that went with the regular season title, as the Defenders locked that one up well before the end of the season with a 20-2 mark. Well, Mayville State had to win their way into the bracket field, as they were a winner in the North Star Athletic Association postseason tournament, avenging some earlier season losses to Dakota State to get here with the win in the tournament. Let's take a look at how both of these teams arrived at this point. For the Dordt Defenders, they started the year with 16 straight wins before losing to the Doane University Tigers back on January the 11th. Came back then and ran off another 9 wins in a row, also avenging that loss to Doane with a 99-65 loss. Lost to Northwestern 58-45 on the road, and then were able to win 3 in a row, including a heart stopper with Dakota Wesleyan in the Great Plains Athletic Conference semifinals. Lost to Briarcliff a week ago last night in the GPAC final, and then beat Iowa Wesleyan last night 76-63. For the Mayville State Comets, they started the year with a loss to Jamestown, then ran off 5 wins in a row, 2 of them over Providence. A win over Jamestown by 18 points, that gets my attention. They also defeated Trinity Bible and Presentation. Lost to Dakota State, though, 83-75 in North Star play. They then knocked off Minnesota Morris back-to-back, beat Presentation, beat Iowa Wesleyan by 16 points, and then lost to Doane 85-83. Beat Waldorf, beat Viterbo, lost to Dakota State in overtime 58-56. Beat Bellevue, Dickinson State, Valley City State back-to-back, Dickinson State and Bellevue, and then lost once again to Dakota State, the third time that they would lose to the Lady T's. They then beat Viterbo, Waldorf, Presentation, Waldorf, Bellevue, and then Dakota State. The old saying, it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a season, and it's obviously very difficult to beat a familiar foe 4 times in a season, and Dakota State loses in that North Star Athletic Association title game to Mayville State 66-52. Last night it was Mayville State getting a 77-67 win over Science and Arts of Oklahoma in a mild upset here at the DeWitt Gym. Mayville State is averaging 79 points a game, giving up 55. They shoot 45% from the floor. They allow 34% success from the three-point line. I beg your pardon, they allow 34% success from the field. They convert 34% of their three-point shots. They give up 25% for opponents. They're getting out-rebounded. This is the odd stat to me. It's not often you see a team get out-rebounded, but they get out-rebounded on average 38-37. They make up for it, though, as they have converted not quite twice as many, and actually about they've converted 455 free throws this season in 29 games to 285 for opponents. So they make up for that rebounding by converting free throws. They force 19 turnovers a game, and they give up the ball 15 times per contest. Jordan Rust makes this team go. She's averaging a double-double, 20 points and 11 rebounds. She can also knock down three-pointers. She has 23 this season. Aaron Walker, 13 points per game. Mackenzie Hughes, 11.4 points per game. Jess Mertens, 10.2 points per outing. C.J. Decker, 6.7 points per game. This is not a deep Mayville State team. Last night they played 8 players. 3 of them, though, coming off of the bench, all played sub 10 minutes. All of their starters, I believe, 34 minutes or more last night for Mayville State. But they've been doing that all season, and they've been playing back-to-back games in the North Star Athletic Association all season as well. That scheduling is set up as back-to-back evenings, so playing back-to-back does not present anything new for Mayville State. For the Dordt defenders, we told you about their season in terms of their wins and losses. They're averaging 78 points a game, giving up 63. They're converting 48% from the floor and allowing opponents to make 40%. Dordt, one of the nation's leaders in three-point shooting percentage as a team at 39%, and they allow opponents to make 29%. They do out-rebound teams 38-31, and they force 16 turnovers while committing 13. Carly Gustafson leads the team with 16 points and 7 rebounds a game. She makes 62% of her field goals. Bailey Beckman's at 15.6 points per game. Janie Schoenhoven is at 11.7 points per game with 7.5 rebounds. Macy Sievers, steady off of the bench, 8.1 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 5.5 assists with 2 steals per game. Hayden Hymanson coming off a 16-point performance last night. She's at 7 points per game. Faith Van Holland is at 6.3 points per game. McKenna Klecker and Macy Nielsen 5.3 and 4.5 points per contest as well for the defenders. Let's take a 2-minute break. We'll be back with starting lineups from the DeWitt Gym. Dordt versus Mayville State in the NAIA National Championship second round play for the right to move on to Sioux City. Back with more in 2 minutes.
Welcome to the American State Bank Sports Complex. Let me show you around. So right now we are in the spacious head house of the complex. On my left here we have the concession stand, and then on my right here we have a seating area, whether that's for students, spectators, or fans to come and enjoy before and in between games. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Welcome to the Dome. In the Dome, we have the space available for 2 full-size softball fields. However, this space is also utilized by the football, baseball, and soccer teams, as well as for other various athletic events. So the Dome has impacted the softball team in a variety of ways. First, we used to practice during the winter months over in the rec center, but the limited space availability never really allowed us to hit our full potential, whereas in here, we can fit 2 full-size softball fields. We're also able to start games much earlier in the season. We have a range of equipment available here at the Dome, whether it's the batting cages, the soccer goals, or even a field goal available for the football team. It's a huge opportunity to have the space available to practice in the off-season, especially for our outdoor athletic teams. Another great thing about the American State Bank Sports Complex is that it's not just for Dordt athletes, it's for the entire community. Whether that's high school soccer leagues, open turf time, or even a space for intramurals. The American State Bank Sports Complex will change not only how we practice as Dordt athletes, but also how we interact with the community as a whole. Thanks for letting me take you on a little tour. Hope you stop by soon.
Our starting lineups for tonight's contest. We begin with the Dordt defenders who enter play 28-3 this season, and actually 29-3. Forgot to factor in that win last night. They will start Hayden Hymanson, number 5. She's a 5'8 sophomore from Rock Rapids, averaging 7.1 points per game. Bailey Beckman's a 5'5 senior from Panora, Iowa, averaging 15.6 points per contest. Carly Gustafson is a 5'11 senior from Ethan, South Dakota, averaging 16.4 points per game. Number 32 is Faith Van Holland, a 5'8 junior from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, averaging 6.3 points per game. And number 35 is Janie Schoenhoven, a 5'10 sophomore from Hospers, Iowa, averaging 11.7 points per game. For Mayville State, they will start number 2, CJ Decker, a 5'5 junior from Howard Lake, Minnesota, averaging 6.7 points per game. Number 3 is Aaron Walker, a 5'11 senior from Beulah, North Dakota, averaging 13 points per game. Number 5 is Mackenzie Hughes. She is a 5'6 sophomore from Thompson, North Dakota, averaging 11.4 points per game. And number 10 is Jess Mertens, a 5'9" junior from Devils Lake, Minnesota, averaging 10.2 points per contest. Rounding out the starting lineup for Mayville State, Jordan Zrust, a 6' senior from Buffalo, Minnesota, averaging 19.8 points per game. Mayville State won the North Star Athletics Association postseason tournament and then a 77-67 victory last night over Science and Arts. Comets led 12-10 after one quarter, used an early run to extend the lead 31-23 at halftime. Science and Arts had a brief lead in the third quarter, but Mayville State had an answer and played most of the fourth quarter with a double-digit lead. Comets were 24 of 45 from the field and 7 of 22 from the three-point line. Dordt was a 76-63 winner over Iowa Wesleyan last night. The defenders were in control most of the game and enjoyed a 20-point lead most of the fourth quarter. Defenders were 29 of 49 from the field and had a 37-24 rebounding edge, while also converting 10 of 20 three-point shots. Hayden Hymanson scored 16, made 4 three-point baskets. Carly Gustafson and Janie Schoenhoven each had 13. Bailey Beckman scored 12, all in the second half. Gustafson and Schoenhoven had 7 and 6 rebounds apiece respectively, and Macy Sievers came off of the bench to score 9 and had 8 rebounds with 6 assists and 2 steals. That's your pregame show, brought to you by Wireless World, your local Verizon authorized retailer with 7 locations in Northwest Iowa. You can visit them at wirelessworld.com. This is one of 16 women's games and 16 men's games taking place in the NAIA across the country. We'll do our best to keep you up to date on those other games happening as well. Let's take a 2-minute timeout. Back with the opening tap after this.
When you add up all the Wi-Fi connected devices in your home these days, you'll be surprised at how many there are and how much bandwidth they're using. Do the math. It just may add up to needing faster Wi-Fi. Premier Communications has you covered with reliable internet speeds up to 1 gig. Keep everything connected with Premier Communications. Visit us online at mypremieronline.com or call at 1-800-741-8351. Premier Communications. Looking ahead.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University.
And today's broadcast sponsored by Ployne Publishing. Quality printing from design to delivery.
Here we live between big city and small town, but we don't do anything halfway. We play in a community that's safe for families while providing our kids big city opportunities. We work in a place proud of its rural history that's already writing its future in science and technology. This is a place where we love our neighbors and where a small town is more like a big family. Sioux Center, live life in the middle of everything.
Today's broadcast is sponsored by Northside Body Shop. When you expect the very best in the repair of your vehicle, call Northside Body Shop Limited today, serving the Sioux Center area since 1955. 712-722-2313.
We are set for basketball. The Dordt defenders, Janie Schoenhoven jumping it up against Jordan Zrust, and we are underway with play. C.J. Decker will walk it into the front court for Mayville State. Mayville State in their royal blue uniforms, white numbers, while the Dordt defenders in their home whites with gold numbers trimmed in black. Zrust with the basketball, trying to work her way into the lane, cut off there by Schoenhoven, gives it up to Mertens. Mertens with it against Van Holland. Mertens crosses over, and she gets the shot to go as she tumbles to the ground. And Mayville State has a 2-0 lead. Hayden Hymanson with the basketball. And it looks like the zone defense applied by Mayville State here. Schoenhoven with it. High post it goes to Gustafson. Gustafson puts it up in traffic. Missed it. No good. And here comes Mayville State. Mayville State in transition. Welker and loses it out of bounds. It'll be Mayville State basketball. Walker unable to convert on the other end. Throwing the ball in will be Decker. Decker to trigger it. And Decker's pass over the top, controlled. Spinning into the lane is Hughes. Hughes puts the short shot up. It's good. Hughes with the 2-point bucket, and Mayville State leads 4-0. 4-0 our score. Bringing the basketball up the floor is Hymanson. So Mayville State has converted on both of their first 2 possessions. Cross-court pass thrown away by Beckman. And it'll be Mayville State with a basketball in front of their bench. So Mayville State starting with a couple of scores on 2 possessions. And now Mayville State will bring the basketball up the floor. Trying to build on a 4-0 lead are the Comets. Zrust with the basketball. She gives it up to Walker. Walker 3, missed, no good. And the rebound is controlled by Hymanson. Here come the defenders. Hymanson with the basketball out front. Hymanson picks up her dribble. Hymanson looking, goes high post, Gustafson. Gustafson underneath. Gustafson pinned, gets it back over to Beckman in the wing. Beckman double team, comes back over to Hymanson. 3-ball, missed it, no good, short. Rebound controlled, Mayville State and Zrust. Zrust with it. Zrust up the floor, in traffic, puts it up, short jumper, good. And the Dordt defenders need a timeout, trailing 6-0. 6-0 our score. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in 30 seconds.
We understand how complex the financial landscape can be to navigate. Our goal is to free up your hands so that you can focus on what is most important in life.
Dordt with the basketball, trailing 6-0, so Mayville State out to a quick lead in this one. Out front with it is Hymanson. She goes over to Beckman. Beckman with it on the wing. Beckman with the basketball, high post, Van Hollen. Van Hollen turns, fires, 10-footer good. Faith Van Hollen with a 2-point basket. Dordt leads, trails 6-2. Now Dordt needs a stop on the other end. They haven't been able to get a stop yet. Mayville State able to get into the paint. They've converted on 3 of 4 shots. Pass comes out front, Zrust. Zrust with the basketball. Zrust passes it back. 3 on the way. Long rebound off the heel, controlled by Hymanson. Up the floor, Dordt on the break. Nothing there. Comes back to Gustafson. Gustafson, Schoenhoven puts it up. No good. And the rebound, she left it short. Rebound taken away by Mayville State and Zrust. Zrust, 3 off the mark, no good. Rebound, Van Hollen. Van Hollen with the basketball. Dordt wants to press it into the front court. They get it away, Hymanson on the right side. Hymanson to Beckman. Beckman with the basketball, looking high post, finds Gustafson. Gustafson gives it away to Schoenhoven. And the pass a little out of her reach, and Mayville State was able to reach up and knock it off of her leg and out of bounds. It is Mayville State with the basketball, 6-2 our score. Gustafson checks out of the ball game. Macy Sievers will check in. 3 minutes gone in this one, and the defenders trail 6-2. Mayville State basketball, Decker. Decker gives it off left side, driving in, laying it up with the right hand from the left side is Aaron Walker. And she's the 4th different player to score for Mayville State already. It's 8-2. 8-2 our score. High post, Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven into the lane, and she's going to be called for a charge. Jeannie Schoenhoven whistled for a charging foul as she lowered her shoulder from the right side of the lane. And Mayville State now with an 8-2 lead on the basketball, and not the start you want if you're Dordt. And for Mayville State, they've got early momentum. The Comets converting 4 of 7 shots already. Started the game with 3 of 4. Right side of the basketball is Hughes. Hughes out front to Walker. Walker back to Hughes. Hughes puts it on the deck, on the elbow. Back out front, Zrust steps into a 3. Good. Jordan Zrust with 5, and the Mayville Comets lead 11-2. 11-2 our score. Sievers with it, high post, Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven off the glass, good. Jeannie Schoenhoven with a 2. And the Dordt defenders trail 11-4. 6:09 remaining here in the first quarter. Mayville State's Rust with it out front, puts it on the deck. Now passes off right side, 3, rattles, no good. Rebound controlled by Schoenhoven. She gets it back over to Sievers. Here comes Dordt. Sievers into the front court at the top of the key, throws it, intended for Macy Nielsen, and it's tapped away. So Nielsen and Klecker on the floor with Van Holland and Schoenhoven. And they both check out, do Schoenhoven and Van Holland. It's Gustafson and Beckman on the floor for the defenders. Looks like Mayville in a 2-3 zone now. Dordt with 23 on the shot clock, trailing 11-4. Sievers with it on the left wing. Mayville State in the zone. Sievers, short jumper, 10-footer, straight on, good. Macy Sievers with the 2-point bucket, and the defenders trail 11-6. Mayville State up the floor, right side Hughes. Hughes at the top of the key, dribbling into the lane, cut off, and fires it off of the hands of her intended receiver, Brecken. Sydney Brecken unable to handle the hot pass, and the Dordt defenders will bring it up the floor, trailing 11-6. 11-6 our score with the basketball. Sievers throws it over the top. Nielsen in the right corner. Nielsen comes back over to Beckman. Beckman gives it up. Klecker. Klecker, free throw line jumper. Gustafson, good. Carly Gustafson with the free throw line jumper, and the Dordt defenders showing some signs of life. Gustafson with her first field goal of the day. Dordt trailing 11-8. Mayville State basketball, Zrust. Zrust against Gustafson. Tries to cross over, and she's going to be called for traveling. Turnover back to the defenders. Dordt trailing 11-8. Dordt with it. They get it into Sievers, and Sievers will walk it up. Macy Sievers with it right-hand side. The freshman from Storm Lake goes over to Klecker. Klecker on the right wing. Klecker back to Sievers. Sievers in the lane, puts it up with the left hand, spins it in. Macy Sievers with 4. Dordt on an 8-0 run. Mayville State with the basketball, calling for a set play is Hughes. Hughes driving, puts it up right side, gets it to Brecken. Brecken to Zrust. Zrust. Shot in the paint, no good. Rebound taken away by Sievers. Here comes Dordt. Sievers with it across half court, comes back left side Nielsen, inside Gustafson. She goes to work on Zrust. Puts it up with the left hand, good. 2-point bucket, Carly Gustafson, and the Dordt defenders wake up with a 10-0 run, and they now lead 12-11 with 4:06 remaining in the first quarter. Timeout on the floor, charged to Mayville State. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in 30 seconds.
American State Bank is celebrating our 50th anniversary, and we couldn't have made it this far without your support. For us, banking just scratches the surface. We pride ourselves in our commitment to our communities, building meaningful relationships with our customers, and doing our best to have some fun along the way. We're proud to be a locally owned and operated bank, supporting the communities we serve. Thank you for choosing American State Bank. We can't wait to see what the next 50 years have in store.
Mayville State basketball in the backcourt. Dordt will bring a little pressure defense. Cross-court pass controlled by Mertens. Gets it across half court. Mertens back to Hughes. Hughes into the lane. Hughes loses it on the way up, but she is fouled. And Hughes will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. And for the Dordt defenders, that foul called on Bailey Beckman. That's number 1 on Bailey. And free throws on the way for Hughes, an 80% free throw shooter. Coming off a 14-point performance last night. Misses that one. Has a chance to tie it here. So both teams have used a timeout here in the first quarter already. Second free throw is up, and that one skims over the rim. Good. We have our first tie of the contest with 3:52 left in the first quarter. 3 points for Hughes. Dordt basketball, right side Beckman. Beckman with it. Zone defense applied by Mayville State. Beckman off the glass, no good. A rebound tapped out, controlled by Sievers. Sievers with the basketball. Left side Van Holland into the corner. Extra pass. Klecker 3, missed it, no good. And the rebound and a run out for Mertens. Mertens with the basketball. Mertens on the left-hand side, comes back, top of the key, step into it, 3, no good by Walker. Here comes Dordt, 3:20 left to play, first quarter. Into the front court, Sievers, angles to the right, gives it back over to Gustafson. Gustafson shakes left, goes right, layup good. Carly Gustafson with 6. Dordt leading 14-12. 3:05 left to play first quarter. Mayville State basketball, C.J. Decker. Decker with it. Now Mayville State trailed early in last night's game with science and arts and then came back and put together a nice run. Pass into the post, Zarust. Zarust trying to lean her way in. Shot off the glass is good. Zarust ties it with her 7th point. 14-14. She's coming off a 19-point performance. Ball poked away from behind by Mayville State as Sievers penetrated. Schoenhoven checks in. Checking out will be Gustafson with 2:40 remaining first quarter. The defenders inbounding left side of the lane as we face the hoop. Sievers will throw it in. Sievers throws, tapped, controlled, Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven off of the glass, good. Janie Schoenhoven with 2 field goals. Dordt leads 16-14. 2:30 left to play first quarter. Now Dordt looking for a stop. Mayville State trying to even the score again with it left-hand side, Decker. Decker with the basketball, Walker. Walker feeds it right side, Mertens. Mertens into the paint, nothing there. Tapped away by Van Holland, out of bounds. Mayville State will inbound in front of the Dordt bench, down and to my right. Well, Sievers might have panicked a little bit on that inbounds play, but it ends up in the hands of Janie Schoenhoven around the hoop, and she's able to finish. C.J. Decker with the basketball. She'll spot up, cast up a 3, missed it, no good. Rebound controlled by Sievers. Here comes Dordt. Sievers with the basketball. Dordt with a chance to take their first 2 possession lead of the game. Pass goes right side, Beckman. Beckman with it in the corner. Beckman picks up her dribble and threw it away. Taken back by Mayville State. Mayville State running. Mertens layup, no good. Rebound Schoenhoven. And now Schoenhoven, it's tapped away from behind, and it is last touched by Mayville State. It'll be Dordt basketball. Dordt dodges the bullet that time. Mayville State, they're going to look back at that one and wish they had it back. Bringing the basketball up is Sievers. Sievers across half court. Sievers with it in between the circles. Macy passes left side, Klecker. Klecker with it back to Sievers. High post, Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven puts it up in traffic. Shot no good. Boy, they're letting a lot of contact go underneath in the paint. Macy Sievers nearly picks up her 2nd foul in the backcourt. Here's Walker. Walker gives it up. And we have a travel called against Mayville State. It is physical when you go up for a shot around the rim on both ends. And last time we saw Schoenhoven take it up, and she was contested. Dordt inbounding with 1:22 remaining here in the first quarter. Sievers for the basketball in between the circles. Macy setting the offense. Passes left side. Nielsen, Hymanson. Hymanson passes into Schoenhoven, and a kick called against Jordan Zrust. It'll be Dordt basketball inbounding left side of the lane as we face the hoop. Dordt with 4 turnovers thus far. Mayville State charged with 3. One of them an offensive foul by the defenders. That counts as a turnover. Throw it into the corner, Nielsen. Nielsen with the basketball off the dribble. Her pass deflected, and Mayville State gets a hand on it again. There's one of those pesky turnovers. Mayville State coming back the other way, Zrust. Zrust back out front to Walker. Walker, left side, Decker. Decker into the paint. Right side it goes to Zrust. Zrust to the strong hand with the left. Her strong hand initially the left, then comes back to the right. And she's fouled on the play by Schoenhoven. That's her 2nd. So Janie Schoenhoven picks up foul number 2. Remember, she had that offensive foul early on. And Carly Gustafson's going to check into the game. Schoenhoven will check out. And Eliana Caparis also checking into the game with 50.6 seconds left to go in the quarter. 16-14. Zrust is a 77% free throw shooter. She shot a bunch of them this year as well. 160. For reference for Dordt fans, Carly Gustafson 158 shot free throws this season. 2nd free throw by Zrust is good, and it's 16-15 Dordt. So Zrust makes 1 of 2. She's got 8, and the defenders have the basketball under a minute to go in the quarter. Sievers to Hymanson. Gustafson in the paint, nothing there, back to Hymanson. Nielsen. Nielsen to Gustafson. Gustafson up on the rim, her 2-pointer is good, she's got 8. Dordt with their biggest lead of the ball game. Now Mayville State will come down and they can hold for the final shot. 23 seconds and counting. Mayville State with it. C.J. Decker out front with the basketball. Dordt looking for a stop. They've got possession to start the second quarter. C.J. Decker with it on the right-hand side. Dordt in man-to-man defense. Pass, cross-court, tip. 6 seconds left. Busted play. Sievers comes up with it. 3 seconds. 2. Let's fly from the top of the key. No good. And that's how the first quarter ends, with Dordt leading 18-15. Dordt with a 3-point advantage, 18-15. To the second quarter we go. You're watching and listening to the NAIA National Championship second round play from Sioux Center. Back with more after this 1-minute break.
Hi, I'm Quentin Olson. I'm from Homeland, Wisconsin, and my favorite thing about the Dordt Media Network is that all the productions are student ran. With little guidance, we get to do everything you see on the screen by ourselves. I'd like to shout out my friends and family back home. Thanks for watching the Dordt Media Network.
My name is Sean Solano. I'm a junior here at Dordt, and I'm from Managua, Nicaragua. I love working for the Dordt Media Network because the people I get to work with, learning the amazing camera operating system, and being able to watch all the games, especially a great way to spend my Fridays and Saturdays. Thanks for watching the Dordt Media Network.
A special thanks to our NAIA National Championship corporate sponsors, CF Promo and I-29 Sports. Proud supporter and partner of Dordt University Athletics since 2004. CF Promo and I-29 Sports, where every day is custom made easy. And also by corporate sponsor, People's Bank, where values matter. Dordt with the basketball to start the second quarter of play, leading 18-15 are the defenders. Hymanson gives it back over to Nielsen. Nielsen with it on the right wing. Nielsen goes high post. Caparis. Caparis knocks down a 15-footer. Eliana Caparis with the free throw line jumper, and the Dordt defenders lead by 5, 20-15. So a big bucket there by Eliana Caparis, and Mayville State with the basketball. Comets have it out front. Hughes 3, missed it, no good. Rebound taken away by Hymanson. Dordt on the run. Hymanson with it on the right-hand side. Hayden with it, sets up on the right logo. Pass comes across court over to Nielsen. Ball fake, 3, yes. 3-point bucket, Hayden for Macy Nielsen. And the Dordt defenders lead 23-15. Mayville State basketball. Comets have it, trailing by 8, answering with a 3. No. Rebound taken away by Hymanson. Dordt on the run again. Hymanson snaps it ahead to Nielsen. Nielsen, no heat check. Instead comes back to Hymanson. Hymanson, a three-pointer on the way short, no good. And the rebound is controlled by Mayville State and Mertens. Mertens with the basketball. Mertens at the free throw line. She passes back out to Zrust. Zrust gives it up on the wing to Walker. Walker into the paint. Walker at the free throw line, passed it off right side, now comes back to Zrust. Zrust ball fake against Gustafson. And Gus puts it up in traffic, and nice move by Zrust. Zrust makes it 23-17. Pass comes back to Nielsen, baseline jumper, swish. 2-point bucket for Macy Nielsen. Dordt trying to up the tempo here, see if they can run on Mayville State just a little bit. As I mentioned in the pregame, Mayville State not exceptionally deep. They don't play quite as many players with extensive minutes like the defenders do, so that's a significant difference. Shot is up in the paint as Aaron Walker gets the short shot to go. 25-19 defenders. Hymanson lobs it in for Gustafson. Gustafson puts it up. Shot no good. And the rebound is cleared by Mayville State. You're going to have to earn it in the paint tonight on both sides. Mayville State, Zrust, 3 straight on, good. And just like that, an 8-point lead is 3. 25-22, defenders by 3. Zrust with her second 3 today. Dordt leading 25-22. Pass goes right side Beckman. Beckman with it on the wing. Bailey has it, 15 to shoot out front, picks up her dribble. High post, Caparis throws it into the corner. Nielsen, another one. Yes. Macy Nielsen answers with her second three. She's got 8. There's your wild card. And the Dordt defenders lead it 28-22. Mayville State will come back trying to answer. Decker with it out front against Beckman. Decker into the paint. Nothing there. Back over to Walker. Walker drives in. Missed it. Rebound Caparis. Ahead to Hymanson. Hymanson with it. Hymanson across half court. Beckman into the corner. Nielsen, 3 square. Cube, no good. There for the rebound, though, is Caparis. Eliana Caparis with the putback. Johnny on the spot, and the defenders extend the lead back to 8. 30-22. Dordt with an 8-point lead on the Mayville State Comets, and Mayville State uses a timeout with 6:45 remaining in the half. This will be a 1-minute timeout. You're listening to and watching NAIA National Championship second round play. Back with more in 1 minute.
This Dordt Media Network student-produced live stream broadcast is brought to you by Joyner and Zwart Dentistry in Orange City, offering dentures, implants, and dental care for your whole family in a modern and friendly atmosphere.
And sponsored by Sioux Center Health Therapy, partnering with Dordt University to provide quality care to all athletes. Sioux Center Health Therapy.
(30-22). Dordt showing pressuring defense again. Mayville State inbounds. They get it to Walker. Walker in the backcourt. Mayville State, new players in. We'll get to them in just a moment. Puts it up with the right hand, and nice move. C.J. Decker with the 2. 30-24. Dordt by 6. Mayville State using that timeout. Dordt showing pressure defense out of the timeout. Second time they've done that tonight. Pass goes to Schoenhoven. Back out to Klecker. Klecker, left side, Nielsen on the wing. 13 to shoot. Now Van Hollen. Van Hollen, 3, yes. Faith Van Hollen knocks down the triple, and the defenders have their biggest lead of the ballgame, 33-24. Well, Dordt has gotten timely shooting all season long from a variety of players. Decker now backing her way in against Van Hollen. Comes back right side to Dean. Dean with the basketball. Dean working her way in. Might have traveled. Kick out pass. Rockel. Rockel, 3, missed, no good. Rebound taken away by Van Hollen. Over to Sievers. It's a foot race. Sievers into the front court. Snaps it into the corner. Nielsen. Open 3. Corner. Got it. Macy Nielsen with 11 points. She had a slump midway through the year. She found her shot in Jamestown near the end of the season, took it home with her, and now she gives Dordt a dozen-point lead at 36-24. C.J. Decker with it. Down on the floor after it is Van Hollen. Van Hollen with it. Calls for a timeout, and the Dordt defenders force a turnover, get a timeout to save the possession, and with a 12-point lead and 5:17 left in the half, Dordt will use a 30-second timeout. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in 30 seconds.
Family, farm, business, community. People's Bank, where values matter.
(36-24). Dordt calls a timeout. Probably wouldn't scripted it up that way, but momentum on the defender's side, so they utilize their second timeout. Pass goes inside. Gustafson, baby hook in the lane, good. Carly Gustafson, 10 first half points, and the defenders lead 38-24. I mentioned earlier there haven't been many fouls called. Mayville State has yet to pick up a personal foul. Dordt has been whistled for 3. Mayville State throws it away on the other end. It's Dordt basketball. They'll inbound length of the floor to go. Now they're playing a zone defense, so that factors in as well. But you have to earn it when you've got it around the hoop tonight. McKenna Klecker with the basketball. Passes. Sievers drops it off for Gustafson. Gustafson, bucket good. Another assist for Sievers. And the defenders have opened up a 40-24 advantage with 4.5 left to go in the half. Driving in, and we've got a hand check called on the defenders. It's going to go on Bailey Beckman. That's number 2 on Beckman. Unfortunately for the defenders, all 4 of their timeouts, fouls, called against 2 players. So they've got a little bit of foul issue to work through. With the basketball, Hughes into the paint. Hughes kicks it back outside with the basketball, Mertens. Mertens guarded there by Van Holland. Van Holland with on the defense. Dribbling, they get it to Zrust. Zrust to against Gustafson. Throw it into the corner, right-handed triple on the way, good. The 3-point basket by Aaron Walker stops the bleeding. Dordt leads 40-27, 4 minutes remaining. The defenders went on a 10-0 run. Gustafson in the paint, and she is fouled. Aaron Walker will pick up her first personal and team foul number 1 against Mayville State. 16 minutes and 6 seconds into this contest. Dordt will go to the free throw line with Carly Gustafson shooting a pair. 3:54 remaining in the half. Dordt with a 13-point lead. It's been as many as 16. Free throw on the way for Gustafson. Good. Carly starting to fill up the line. 13 points, 6 of 8 from the floor. Second free throw on the way for Carly. Up and down for the senior from Ethan, South Dakota. She'll check out of the ball game, trying to limit her minutes, get her some rest when she can. Fatigue has been an issue in recent weeks for her. Feels fine, but just tired, logging those minutes and getting pounded on in the paint. Mayville State with the basketball in the backcourt. Dordt slowing them up just a little bit. Bringing it across the half-court stripe. They feed the trailer, Hughes. Hughes, left hand, can't get it to go. Rebound taken away by the defenders and Hymanson, and she's fouled in the backcourt by Hughes. Hughes whistled for the personal. I made comments about you've got to earn it in the paint. You are not getting the benefit of the doubt on either end if you're going up for the shot. You have to go up strong, assume you're going to be hit, and try to finish through contact. 42-27 our score. Right side defenders by 15. Pass it inside Caparis. Reversal. Nielsen, another one. Does she have it? You bet she does. Macy Nielsen having one of those nights you dream about. 45-27, defenders by 18. She's got 4 threes and a 2 in the first half. Shot in the paint on the other end by Zrust is good. Zrust, 45-29, a 16-point lead. Baseline jumper, no good, a little quick. And the rebound cleared by Mayville State. Mayville State taking a stab at it was Macy Sievers. And Macy called for the foul at midcourt. Jess Mertens, the ball handler. That is team foul number 2 against the defenders in this half. In this quarter, I should say. Neither team has shot a bonus free throw yet. 2:58 left to go in the half. Dordt with a 16-point lead. They've led by as many as 18. Mayville State basketball, Decker. Decker on the right-hand side picks up her dribble. Decker passes back over to Hughes. Hughes with it out front. Hughes to Zrust. Zrust clearing a little path. Comes back, left side, Mertens. Mertens had a 3 moments ago. Thinks about another one. Klecker holding her ground. Back out front it comes. Driving into the lane. Right side Zrust. Zrust 5 to shoot. Zrust throws it up off of the heel. No good. Rebound controlled by Zrust. And Carly Gustafson's going to be called for a foul on the rebound. Wrong place, wrong time for Gustafson. Jordan Zrust, who is 1 of 2 from the free throw line so far tonight, will go to the free throw line. She's a 77% free thrower. First one on the way for Zrust is up and good. Rattles it in. 6-foot senior. Numbers very similar to Gustafson. A few more points, over 1,700 career points for Zrust, and over 700 career rebounds. Makes that shot. She's now 3 of 4, and the defender lead is 14, 45-31. This is where if you're Dordt, you want to get your post player a touch. They get it to Gustafson, squares up in the paint, hook shot good. She's shooting fish in a barrel right now is Carly Gustafson. Gustafson, I've got her with 14, and the defenders lead 47-31. Mayville State's going to have to adjust something on defense with her. 3 on the way, off the heel, no good. Rebound controlled by Van Hollen. Van Hollen gets it out to Sievers. Sievers with the basketball underneath to Klecker, and Klecker has it poked away underneath. Last touch by Mayville State. It'll be Dordt basketball. Carly Gustafson so far in this one, 14 points on 6 of 8 shooting, including 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Klecker with the basketball. Klecker to Gustafson. Gustafson, Sievers. Dordt by 16. Dordt's led by as many as 18. Sievers, the seeing eye pass, and Carly Gustafson on the receiving end. And the defenders lead 49-31. Dordt playing a 2-person game that time. Zrost passes it back to Halaka. Halaka shot no good. Rebound cleared by Dordt. Up and running the defenders. Into the front court with the basketball is Sievers, and we've got an offensive foul called on the defenders. Who's that going to go on? I believe an illegal screen called against McKenna Klecker. She was trying to get Macy Nielsen popped free for a shot from the corner. Gets whistled for the illegal screen. Here comes Mayville State on the run. Mayville State, Hughes back out front, Zrost gives it up to Mertens. Mertens with the basketball, back to Hughes. Hughes in traffic, off the glass, no good. What did I say about a lot of contact and having to earn it? That time Hughes hits the deck. A lot of contact and no call made. With the basketball out front is Sievers. Sievers, right side, Klecker, under a minute to go in the half. Sievers stops, pops, 10-footer, no good, missed it. Rebound taken away by Mayville State. Dordt with their biggest lead of the ball game, 49-31. Mayville State with it on the left-hand side, Mertens. Mertens with it. Mertens comes back over to Hughes. Hughes, 3, good. Mackenzie Hughes with the 3, and the Dordt defenders will walk it up. 49-34, Dordt by 15. 5-second difference, shot clock and game clock. With the basketball out front, Sievers goes to Van Holland. Van Hollen goes high post, Gustafson. Gustafson in the paint, nudged, shot no good. Rebound cleared by Mayville State. Mayville State up the floor with it. Zrost passes left side Walker. Walker comes back to Hughes. Hughes with the basketball. A chance for Mayville State to cut into the lead. 6 seconds left. 5 now Hughes. Back out front Zrost. Zrost 3, no good. That's the end of the half. Sievers, desperation shot at the end of the half. Well short. And the Dordt defenders, after a sluggish start, getting down 11-2, have staked themselves to a 49-34 lead here at halftime. You're listening to the NAIA National Championship second round play from the DeWitt Gym in Sioux Center, Iowa. Watching also on the Dordt Media Network and on KIHK Radio, your home for Defender Sports all season long. Let's take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back with a recap of the first half of play in 2 minutes.
This Dordt Media Network student-produced live stream broadcast is brought to you by Joyner and Zwart Dentistry in Orange City, offering dentures, implants, and dental care for your whole family in a modern and friendly atmosphere.
And brought to you by Pizza Ranch, buffet, carry out, or delivery.
Welcome back to the DeWitt Gym, where the Dordt defenders own a 49-34 advantage on the Mayville State Comets. The Dordt defenders trailed early in this one, trailed by as many as 9 at 11-2, and looked a little lethargic, looked a little tense. Got a couple of baskets to go and went on a 10-0 run to take the lead at 12-11. We were tied again at 12-14. And Dordt closed the first quarter with an 18-15 lead, and all totaled went on a 16-4 run to close the first quarter of play. Second quarter began. Dordt extended the lead up to 9. Mayville State cut it back to 8. And Dordt took a 12-point lead at 36-24 after a Faith Van Hollen 3. And Dordt got up by as many as 18, and they settled for a 15-point lead here at the half. Let's take a look at those highlights, and we'll fill you in on some of the scores. Scoring as well, and we'll do that impromptu, and then we'll take a look at the official numbers after another break. Mayville State has converted 4 threes, 2 of them by Jordan's Rust. She had one early in the half and another one late, but Dordt's Macy Nielsen equal to the task with 4 3-pointers in the first half as the defenders converted 5 of 8. Here you see Rust knocking down the second one that stopped the bleeding as Dordt was threatening to run away. Rust has been the best player for Mayville State creating, and she's done that all year. Walker hit a 3. That was 1 of 4 attempts for her, and Macy Nielsen, she likes that corner 3-pointer, and the Dordt defenders extend the lead to 49-34 at the half. Dordt up by 15. It'll be Mayville State basketball when we start the second half of play. Let's take a 2-minute break and be back with a rundown of the numbers right after this 2-minute timeout.
Hello, Dordt University sports fans. Hope you're enjoying the game, whether you're a family or friend of a player or coach or a fan of the university. Now, these players and coaches have put in hours and hours of practice, and it shows. But there's one more thing that every coach makes sure the team has: a game plan. And if these players and coaches are willing to put this much effort into a game, how much more important is a game plan for your financial life? Now, the financial world continually becomes more complicated, and we keep ourselves plenty busy. And even if we have precious free time, most of us don't want to spend it wrangling over financial decisions, reading financial journals, or studying the latest tax legislation. But if you don't have either the time or the desire to spend hours upon hours learning and keeping up with the changing rules of the game in the financial world, and then figuring out how that applies specifically to your financial life, you don't have to do it alone. For over 40 years, Money Concepts, the planning firm here in Sioux Center, has been helping households to build their financial game plan upon all the things in life more important than finances. Because there's things in life more important than money, and none of them are things. I'm Tom DeYoung, financial planner and president of Money Concepts, the planning firm. Check us out on the web or social media, or schedule an intro meeting to see how a financial game plan might benefit you. We'll help you build your finances on all the things in life more important than finances, while being a good steward of the resources God has entrusted to your care. And check out our Money Concepts Radio podcast at moneyconceptsradio.com or on your favorite podcast app, where we dive into the relevant financial planning topics to bring clarity to the often confusing, ever-changing rules of the game in the financial world. Enjoy the rest of the game, and remember to spend your most valuable resources, your time and your attention, on the things in life that matter more than money. And go Defenders!
And as we're back at the DeWitt Gym, let's take a look at those first half numbers. Dordt, 20 of 30 from the floor, 67%, 5 of 8 on threes, 63%. 2 for 2 from the free throw line, 100%. Dordt with a 19-10 rebounding edge. Turnovers, dead even, 6 apiece. For Mayville State, They're 13 of 31 from the floor, 42%, 4 for 16 from the three-point line, 25%, 4 of 6 on free throws, 67%. Individually, the numbers look like this for the defenders. Carly Gustafson leading with 16 points, 7 of 10 from the floor, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, 14 points for Macy Nielsen, 4 of 5 from the arc, and 5 of 6 overall. 5 points for Faith Van Hollen, 4 for Janie Schoenhoven, 4 for Macy Sievers, 4 for Eliana Caparis, for Dordt's total of 47. Mayville State, they're led by Zrast with 17 points, 7 for Walker, 6 for Hughes, 2 for Decker, and 2 for Mertens. 3 rebounds apiece for Zrast and Walker. And 3 different players with 1 assist each. For the defenders, Macy Sievers has 3 assists, 2 for Hayden Hymanson. Dordt with 10 of their 20 field goals, the assisted variety. Hayden Hymanson and Faith Van Hollen leading Dordt with 5 rebounds and 3 for Macy Sievers. Janie Schoenhoven limited to 8 minutes of play in the first half. Normally one of the leading rebounders for the defenders. She got herself into a little bit of foul trouble, and she has 2 at this point. And it looks like Bailey Beckman, I had her down with 2. Official stats have her with 1. So we better make sure that we have that correct. Let's take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back with more from the DeWitt Gym in 2 minutes.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University and sponsored by Sioux Center Health Therapy, partnering with Dordt University to provide quality care to all athletes. Sioux Center Health Therapy. And today's live stream broadcast brought to you by Verhoof Automotive. Verhoof Automotive in Sioux Center is your local Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, and Buick dealer. Verhoof Automotive, worth the drive from anywhere. Welcome back to the DeWitt Gym. Let's take a look at what's happening across the country in women's national championship play. And we'll just take a look at the games that are final and in progress. Thomas More defeated Concordia today, 98-69. They're the defending national champs. Freed Hardman leads Clark 48-42. That's near the end of the last quarter, that is. Marion leads Texas A&M Texarkana 36-25. Rio Grande leads Grace 41-24. Montana Western in the third quarter over Sterling 40-35. Dakota State leads Eastern Oregon. That's a North Star Athletic Association team. Dakota State 44-30 over Eastern Oregon. That's at halftime. Campbellsville leads Rust 34-26.
Georgetown leads Indiana Wesleyan in the third quarter, 47-43 in women's play. And it's Indiana Tech leading Briar Cliff 70-67 with 5.5 left to go in that contest. Men's basketball, some of these are final. We've got more finals on the men's side as those hosts that have two sets of, well, they have the men's bracket and the women's bracket. The men are playing first this season. Indiana Tech defeated Evangel 71-66. Ottawa of Arizona downs Oklahoma Wesleyan in a little bit of an upset, 83-72. Morningside a winner over Kansas Wesleyan, 87-80. Grace leads Madonna near the end of the game, 69-61. And LSU Shreveport over Pikeville, 78-73. Also in men's play, Jamestown leading Peru State at halftime, 47-37. Freed Hardman and Dordt will play later on this evening. And that is from Tennessee. Matt Boss will have the call of that game, and that'll be available on KSOU 93.9 in its entirety. We won't have to bail out of this one early, and we won't pick that one up in progress. We thank Sioux County Radio for their partnership with us this season and freeing up that frequency and allowing us to have both games on in their entirety this evening. Dordt leading Mayville State 49-34 at halftime. Let's take a break, and we'll be back with the second half of play in 1 minute.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University.
And brought to you by Pizza Ranch, buffet, carry out, or delivery.
And brought to you by Furniture Mart. Find furniture, mattresses, flooring, paint, window treatments at your local Furniture Mart, family owned and located downtown Sioux Center.
At Premier Communications, we're all about connection. Connecting you to all the entertainment, work, and family you love with our phone, internet, cable TV, and tech support services. And now, that connection has gotten even faster with internet speeds up to 1 gig. Experience the next level of connection with Premier Communications. Visit us online at mypremieronline.com or call toll-free 800-741-8351. Premier Communications. Looking ahead.
Mayville State cuts it back to 15 as we start the second half of play. Mayville State bringing the ball into the front court. They pass over to Hughes. Three-pointer launch, no good. Rebound cleared by Van Hollen. Snaps it out in front to Hymanson. Hymanson lost it. Now it's tapped away by Mayville State. Out of bounds, it'll be Dordt basketball. Well, if that's any indication, Mayville State's going to take quicker shots, and Dordt is going to try to push the action. Dordt with the basketball. Could lead to a high-scoring second half of play. Right side it goes to Beckman. Beckman with it. Beckman. Back it goes Hymanson on the left wing. Right side Van Hollen. Van Hollen with it. Back over to Beckman. Beckman with the ball. Beckman at the free throw line. Inside to Schoenhoven. Lost it out of bounds. It'll be Dordt basketball. Mayville State tips it away. It'll be Dordt basketball inbounding. Throwing it in will be Hayden Hymanson. Hymanson to trigger it. Throws it into the corner, and it is out of bounds. Tapped by Mayville State. Our officials tonight, Jeremy McHugh, John Garrow, and Kevin Schultz. Faith Van Hollen to inbound the basketball in the corner. Dordt with their original starting 5 on the floor. 8 to shoot, now 6. Beckman spins in the lane. 10-footer splash. Bailey Beckman with her first 2 tonight, and the defender lead is 51-34. Mayville State basketball. Mayville State into the front court. Decker. Decker throws it right side back to Walker. Walker, short shot, missed it, no good. Gustafson tumbling backwards, didn't want to pick up the foul, and she misses the open shot. Pass inside, tipped, and Mayville State picking up some turnovers by the defenders. Dordt with a 17-point lead. Pass to Zrust. Zrust pass deflected, taken away by Beckman. Beckman with the basketball. She'll drive in, puts it up, and she is fouled on the play. Foul's going to go on C.J. Decker, and Bailey Beckman will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Dordt with a lead, 17-point lead. First free throw on the way for Beckman, up and good. Beckman is a 78% free thrower. She scored 12 in the second half last night. And the defenders lead by 18. Second free throw, no good. So Beckman with 3 all in the second half. And Mayville State has the basketball out front. Mertens on the left wing. Mertens brings it back to the top of the key, hesitates, hands it back outside, tipped, controlled, Decker into the paint. Decker gives it back out front, Zrust, 3, no good. And the rebound controlled by Dordt. Dordt with the basketball, right side Hymanson. Defenders leading by 18 with the basketball. Dump it inside for Schoenhoven. Fire it out, Beckman pull up, 17-footer, short, no good. Rebound tapped out, controlled by Van Holland. Credit Hymanson with keeping it alive. Comes back to Gustafson, and she is fouled on the play. 52-34, and this is going to be a challenge for Mayville State simply because back-to-back nights now playing from behind. If you can manage to stay close, the adrenaline will take you a little ways, but they're looking for their second wind. Free throw is up and good for the defenders and Gustafson. Gustafson trying to give Dordt their biggest lead of the ball game, or its biggest lead of the ball game. 19 points for Gustafson, 19-point lead for the defenders. She misses the second free throw attempt. Dordt with a 19-point advantage. Zrust picks up the dribble. Goes back right side, Mertens. Mertens throws it into the corner, Zrust, nothing there. Back outside, 3 on the way, and that one's good for Walker. Walker with 10, and the defenders lead it 53-37, a 16-point lead for Dordt. 7.5 left to go in the quarter. With the basketball out front, they go left side. Beckman thought about the 3, pulls up from 17. That one's off the iron, no good. Rebound controlled by Schoenhoven, and she is fouled. Janey will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Well, Mayville State is in no way in foul trouble. Walker has 2. 3 other players have 1 each. Free throw on the way for Schoenhoven is up and through. Janey now with 5 points, the sophomore from Hospers. Second team all-conference selection. Makes the second one, and the defenders lead it 55-37. 6 points now for Schoenhoven. Mayville State basketball, quickly this is Dean. Taylor Dean on the floor, gets it back over to Decker. Decker throws it. Down low it goes Zrust into the corner, 3 on the way. Decker, good. CJ Decker with the 3. She's got 5. And the defender lead again is 55-40. Dordt up by as many as 19. Now they throw it into the paint. Schoenhoven turns, layup good. 8 for Schoenhoven. Dordt leads 57-40. Into the front court, Mayville State in those blue jerseys. They take it across half court. 16:47 left to go in the game. Right-hand side, Mertens. Mertens throws it to Zrust. Schoenhoven not given any ground. Zrust throws it into the corner. Decker. Recovery. Sievers comes back to Zrust. Zrust throws it off the glass. No good. Rebound controlled. And now a late foul call as they're going to get Schoenhoven for her 3rd on the putback attempt. Well, Mayville State's going to keep attacking, and they have changed their method of operation a little bit on offense. Early in the game, they were a little more deliberate. Now trailing double digits, they have hurried it up and gotten shots up quicker. Free throw is up. Free throw is good. So the free throw is up and through for Mertens. Mertens now with 3 and 4. 57-42, defenders by 15. Sievers with it. Zone defense still applied by Mayville State. They throw it into Gustafson. Gustafson on the block, looking for a cutter. Gets it out front, Nielsen. Back to Sievers. Sievers reverses into the corner, Van Holland. Van Holland underneath, lost it. Picked up by Mayville State. And the Comets will bring the ball up the floor. 6 minutes remaining in the 3rd period. Mayville State with the basketball, Dean. Dean gives it up to Walker. Walker back out front. Decker. Decker in the paint. Decker shot. Rolls around and through. C.J. Decker, the junior from Howard Lake, Minnesota, brings it back to a 13-point difference, 57-44. Right side, Nielsen. Nielsen gives it to Sievers. Sievers with it, 15:37 left to go in the game. They give it up to Gustafson. Gustafson in the paint, puts it up, shot no good. And now a foul called on the rebound against Faith Van Holland. Well, Gustafson unable to finish that time. And that was after Decker got the short shot to go with the left hand. Dordt with a 13-point lead, 57-44, and here comes Mayville State trying to mount a comeback. C.J. Decker brings it across half court. Decker throws it right side. They throw it in. Cross-court pass taken away by Sievers. Sievers a foot race. Sievers one player to beat, lays it up with the right hand, missed it. Rebound controlled by Mayville State. Here come the Comets. Mayville State up and running. Driving in, nothing there. Cross-court pass comes back out front. Mertens. Mertens with it. Mertens comes back to Hughes. Hughes drives in with the right hand, missed it too strong. Rebound taken away by the defenders. Here comes Dordt in transition. Sievers, right side. Klecker, three, off the heel, no good. Rebound controlled by Hughes. Hughes with the basketball. 4:44 left to go in the third period. Dordt 57, Mayville State 44. Hughes with it on the right wing. She brings it back to the top of the key. Decker. Decker with it out front. Decker through the legs dribble. Comes back with the left hand. Nothing there. Goes back over to Walker, and Walker travels with it. 57-44. 5 minutes and 29 seconds gone in the second half, and Mayville State has trimmed 2 points off of the lead. Dordt's led by as many as 19 in the second half. That was at 53-34. So Mayville State on a 10-4 run right now. 4:15 and counting. Sievers picks up her dribble. Zone applied by Mayville State. Looks like a 1-2-2. Right side it goes to Klecker. Klecker over the top. Beckman. Beckman steps in. 15-footer from the elbow. Good. Bailey Beckman with 5, and the defenders lead 59-44. Beckman with all 5 of hers in the second half. 3:55 and counting, third period. Mayville State basketball. C.J. Decker. Decker gives it up, left side Walker. Walker with it. Walker hands it back over to Hughes. Hughes right side Decker. Decker trying to work her way in. Puts it up, shot no good, but a foul on the play called on Beckman, and that's going to be number 3 on her. Bailey Beckman whistled for the personal foul. That's her third. And going to the free throw line will be C.J. Decker. Decker, a 77% free throw shooter. She has 7 points thus far. She'll shoot 2 free throws here. First trip to the free throw line for the right-hander. Puts it up and good. 8 points for Decker. She's averaging 6.7 points per game, coming off a 14-point performance last night. Second free throw on the way is up, and that one is good as well. So Decker makes them both. And the Dordt defender lead is 59-46. We have a timeout on the floor. Dordt leading by a baker's dozen, 3:42 left to go in the third period. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in 30 seconds. Dribble, throws it to Klecker. Dordt by 13. Right side Sievers. Sievers skip past Nielsen. Nielsen ball fake. Steps inside. Long 2. Missed it. No good. And the rebound is controlled by Mayville State. 3:20 and counting. Third period. Out front with the basketball, Mertens. Gives up the dribble. She passes right side Zarust. Zarust cutting to the hoop. Gets it back outside Hughes. Hughes into the paint. Back over to Mertens. Mertens, Zarust. Zarust 3. Good. Zarust with 20, and the Dordt lead that was 19 is now 10. 59-49, Dordt basketball, Sievers. Sievers, right side, Klecker. Klecker, high post, Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven, 10-footer in the lane, no good from straight on. Off one dribble, and here comes Mayville State. Mayville State with the basketball. Rust puts it on the floor, trying to work her way in. Schoenhoven not giving any ground. That time it's tapped away. Klecker gets it back over to Beckman. Beckman with the basketball. Dribbles, middle of the lane, 10-footer good. 2-point bucket for Hayden Hymanson. She's got 7, and the defender lead is 61-49. 2:24 left to go in the third period. Mayville State, Decker. Decker gives it left side, Walker. Walker comes back outside, straight on three, missed no good, and the rebound is controlled by the defenders in Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven gives it off to Sievers. Sievers with it, Dordt by a dozen with the basketball. Sievers dribbling left wing, doesn't give up her dribble, throws it right side, Beckman. Beckman with the basketball back to Macy. Macy 3, right wing, good. Big bucket, Macy Sievers. She's got 7, and the defender lead is 15, 64-49. Mayville State basketball with it right hand side. This is Decker. Decker to Walker. Walker 3, good. Walker answers with a 3. She's got 3 threes of her own. She's got 13. Dordt leading 64-52 with the basketball. Right side it goes. Nearly a double dribble. No call made. Beckman controls it. Gets it back over to Sievers. Sievers looking down low. Cross-court pass. Nielsen. Nielsen high post. Schoenhoven back outside Beckman. Sets, fires 3. Bang! 3-point bucket. Bailey Beckman. Beckman with a 10-point third quarter. And the defenders lead by 15, 67-52. That's how the half began, a 15-point difference. With the basketball, Decker. Decker feeds it back out front, Mertens. Mertens to Zrust. Zrust on the elbow. Picks up her dribble, guarded there by Schoenhoven. Back to Decker. 13 to shoot. Decker in the paint. Right side it goes. Walker. Walker driving in. Stripped by Beckman. Beckman on the floor after it. And Bailey Beckman forces a tie-up. Should be Dordt basketball, I believe, based on the fact I don't remember a jump ball since halftime, and it is indeed Dordt basketball. Schoenhoven will check out of the ball game. Gustafson is back in, and Dordt with a chance to extend the lead here at the end of the third period. 67-52, Dordt with a 15-point advantage. The defenders will bring it up. Sievers. Sievers with it. Sievers looking for Gustafson as she tries to get post position. Instead, they swing it back over to Beckman. Beckman in, Gustafson. Gustafson going to work. Gustafson draws contact, shot off of the glass, no good. And the rebound is controlled by Mayville State. Mayville State with a chance to cut into the lead. They've also got the ball to start the fourth quarter. Big possession here. See if they can cut into the 15-point difference. 67-52. Decker throws it left side. Gets it back over to Hughes. Hughes back to Decker. Decker 3, no good. 7 seconds left. Sievers with the basketball. Sievers stripped on the way up, and Mackenzie Hughes with the steal and the basket. No foul call in the backcourt. They said the strip was clean, and Mayville State cuts the lead down to 13, and they've got the ball to start the fourth quarter of play when we're back in 1 minute. And I need to clear one thing up about that men's basketball game. That's a 7 o'clock tip-off, beg your pardon. So it's 7 o'clock tip-off. That'll be on KSOU. I had thought, I'd seen published somewhere that it was a 7:30 contest, but 7 o'clock the start time there. And the Dordt defenders with a 67-54 lead here in women's basketball with 10 minutes remaining. The winner moves on to the NAIA National Championship final site in Sioux City. Next Tuesday night, they'll play at 8 o'clock. Mayville State trying to mount a comeback, trailing by 13 right now. They've been as close as 10 here in the second half, down by as many as 19. Mayville State basketball, they're looking for Zarust. They give it to Zarust. Zarust gathers it, faces up against Schoenhoven, drives in, throws it into the corner. Three on the way is up, and that one's off the iron, no good. Zarust picks it up in the corner, throws it back out front. Off the dribble is Halaka. Halaka with it, 15 to shoot as it's tapped away. Coming up with it is Hughes. Hughes setting the offense. I believe that's Hughes at least. Hughes with it out front, 7 now to shoot. Back to Zarust. Zarust driving in. Zarust shot no good, and the Dordt defenders come up with a defensive stop. Sievers with the basketball. Dordt by 13. Pass ahead. Gustafson off the glass. Good! Carly Gustafson with 21, and the Dordt defender lead is 69-54. Throw it into the corner with the basketball. Helika. Helika with it. Helika back to Hughes. Hughes gives to Decker. Decker with it. Decker shot, gets it up on the rim. Good. CJ Decker with another 2. She's got 11, and the defender lead is 69-56. Dordt can't quite shake this Mayville State team. They've led big on a couple different occasions, and as big as 19. Carly Gustafson fouled underneath the hoop on that shot with the right hand. And Carly will shoot 2 free throws. Gustafson so far tonight 3 for 4 with 8:39 remaining in the game. Free throw by Gustafson is up and good. Gustafson with 22. She had 20 in the loss to Briar Cliff a little over a week ago. Second free throw no good by Gustafson. 4 of 6 now from the charity stripe. And the defender lead is 14, 70-56. Dordt led by 15 at the break. That was at the halftime break. 49-34. Pace has slowed a little bit here. Zarust with it. Zarust working in against Schoenhoven. Puts it up, no good. And the rebound taken away by Sievers. Sievers with the basketball. Sievers, Beckman trying for it, and Bailey Beckman's going to be called for a foul, trying to go after the loose basketball. Beck has just picked up her 4th personal. 8:12 remaining. 8:12 remaining in the game. Dordt leading 70-56. And Mayville State has the basketball. This is CJ Decker. Decker passes it off to Mertens. Mertens back, right side. Goes back to Hughes. Hughes in the lane. Her shot no good. Rebound taken away by Schoenhoven. Things getting a little testy in the paint right now. And we've got a reach-in foul called against Mayville State and Jess Mertens. And I believe that is foul number 2 on Mertens, and that will irritate Mayville State that much more. I finally deciphered what their coach Dennis Hutter is looking for. He believes his post player is getting pushed with 2 hands in the back when she receives the pass. Decker with a steal. Decker loses it. Taken back by Sievers. Tightrope walk along the baseline. Takes it away. Dordt on the break. Sievers drops it off. Schoenhoven. Layup good. Schoenhoven with 10. Dordt leads 72-56. Sievers with 1 speed. She will attack on offense. You talk about pressure on defense, but she will put pressure on you with her offense. CJ Decker out front. Decker passes it back over to Zarust. Zarust against Schoenhoven, and the shot is no good. But Jordan Zarust will go to the free throw line. She's got 20 tonight, had 17 at halftime. Yep, when Macy Sievers gets it, that ponytail starts bouncing, and she's got 6 assists tonight, 5 rebounds, and 7 points. She'll get a little breather here. Macy Nielsen will check into the ball game. That'll mean Hayden Hymanson will run point. 72-56. Mayville State, a couple of students, I believe, giving the refs an earful behind the bench. First one is up and good. Zarust now with 21. Second free throw on the way. 72-57. 7:09 remaining, and Rust misses that one. Klecker comes away with a rebound. Dordt trying to steal a couple minutes here, I believe, trying to give some people a rest for the stretch run. 7 minutes left. Mayville State extending their zone defense out. Van Holland, right side, Hymanson. Hymanson to Klecker. Klecker with it, might have traveled, no call made. Nielsen back to Klecker. Klecker with it. Klecker, backdoor cut. Van Holland, jumper good. Faith Van Holland with 7, and the defender lead is 74-57. Mayville State's crowd wanting a travel call. I don't blame them. Pass comes out front, Hughes. Hughes with the basketball. Hughes to Mertens. Mertens with it, and now we're got a foul called on Faith Van Holland. Van Holland whistled for foul number 2. And now it's Dordt's coach, Bill Harmson, saying, I'd like that call on this end. And they're going to award 2 free throws. Well, that's actually what he's asking about. He did not think she was going up. I really couldn't tell. Jess Mertens. All depends on when the official deems that the foul occurred, and they feel it was on the shot, so Mertens goes to the free throw line, makes 1 of 2, and it's 74-58. 16-point lead for the defenders, 6:20 left to go in the game. That's in regulation. Pass goes over the top, Gustafson. Gustafson off the glass, the feed from Klecker. Klecker laid it up there nicely for Gustafson, and Gustafson with 24 points. Dordt leading 76-58, back to an 18-point lead. Dordt trying to stretch it out. Mertens with it. Mertens against Van Holland. And the shot is no good, but a foul called on the play. Faith Van Holland whistled for her 3rd personal. And more free throws on the way for Mayville State. Shooting free throws will be Mertens. Mertens 3 for 4 today. She had 17 last night, limited to 5 so far, but there's still 5:59 remaining. Dordt with an 18-point lead, 76-58. So Mertens shooting 2. First one is up and good. Mertens has shot 81 free throws now this season. Has made nearly 80% of them, and tonight is 5 for 6. 76-60, Dordt by 16. Sievers goes left side to Hymanson. Hymanson trying to shoot the gap. Cross-court pass to Sievers. Sets, fires 3, wing, no good. And the rebound is cleared by Mertens. Mertens with it. Dordt tries to jam her up front. Now she brings it up the floor. She'll dribble out to the wing. Her 3 missed, no good. And the rebound is controlled by the defenders as it's saved in by Hughes. Hughes saves it in, but Hymanson able to pick it up. Hughes, pretty heady play that time, as she did not save it in under her basket, but actually tried to throw it to the backcourt where her teammates were headed. Dordt so far a 31-22 rebounding edge tonight as well. Inbounding Sievers, gets it in. Right side, Nielsen. Nielsen's pass deflected, and it's taken away by Mertens. A few pesky turnovers by the defenders tonight. That's number 11. Mayville State with the basketball. Right side, 3, missed it, no good. Rebound cleared by Sievers, and time beginning to run out on Mayville State. 5 minutes remaining. Dordt will likely start to use some clock. With the basketball, Sievers, free throw line. Drops it inside for Gustafson, and Gustafson is held on the play. Carly fouled on the play. And that's going to go against Mayville State's Jess Mertens. Mertens called for her 3rd. So 2 free throws on the way for Carly Gustafson. Both teams will be in the bonus from here on out as well. Free throw by Gustafson is up and through. Carly with 25. Career high is 30 for Gustafson. That is in jeopardy. Gustafson makes both free throws. Carly showed up tonight, 78-60. Took the defenders just a little while. Missed the wake-up call. Dordt trailed by 9, 11-2. Mayville State with the basketball, left-hand side. And then the defenders, though, pulled back to even right away and led at the end of the first quarter and have not trailed since. Mayville State's made a couple of runs. Dordt now sitting on an 18-point lead. Three-pointer from the wing, no good. A rebound taken away by Hymanson. Hymanson with the basketball. 4:30 remaining for the defenders. They'll bring it up. Hymanson with the basketball. Right side it goes Sievers. Sievers ball fake. Sievers back outside, intended, and threw it away. It's taken back by C.J. Decker. Decker with the basketball. Decker on the left elbow. Comes back to Mertens. Mertens into the lane. Mertens' shot no good, but she is fouled on the play. And I believe there is, we can update you now on the men's game happening in Tennessee, as that should now be underway. Again, that's a 7 o'clock start. Fried Hardman leads Dordt 15-11 with 12:50 left to go in the first half. That's in men's play. Here in women's basketball, Dordt leading 78-61, trying for their second straight trip to the final site in Sioux City. So both free throws good for the Comets. Jess Mertens makes them both. I have Mertens now with, well, she had 2 in the first half. She's got 7 made free throws in the second half, 9 points. Dordt leading by 16. Sievers with it. Trying to rub off a screen. Van Hollen setting it out front. Beckman into the paint. Nothing there. Straight on. Kick out pass. Van Hollen, and it rolls off of the rim. No good. Rebound controlled by Hymanson. No, stripped. Here comes Mayville State. And a reach-in foul called on the defenders and Hayden Hymanson. Well, that's a funny game. Last night, Hayden Hymanson, 16 points. Tonight, scoreless. The story, though, of the first half, Macy Nielsen got rolling with 4 threes. She and Carly Gustafson helped stake Dordt to a 15-point halftime lead. Mayville State's been as close as 10, and that's it. First free throw up, and that's no good for Taylor Dean. Dean with another one on the way, 78-62, pending a free throw. This one's up and slingshot through, 78-63. Dordt leading by 15. That's what they led at halftime by. 3:40 and counting. Sievers with it on the right-hand side. Sievers picks up her dribble. Has it out front. Gustafson touches it over to Schoenhoven. Layup good. Janie Schoenhoven with 12 for the defenders tonight. That's another assist for Gustafson. Gustafson with 2 assists by my count. 80-63, defenders leading. 17-point cushion. Driving in is Rockel. Shot no good. Here comes Dordt in transition. Sievers up the floor. Sievers throws it into the corner. Beckman in. Beckman steps on the end line. Actually stepped on the sideline as she received that pass. Well, the Dordt defenders with the lead. And the Dordt defenders will use a 30-second timeout. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. I also want to remind you that tonight's broadcast brought to you by a couple of our corporate sponsors. They are People's Bank, where values matter, and by CF Promo and I-29 Sports, a proud supporter and partner of Dordt University Athletics since 2004. CF Promo and I-29 Sports, where every day is custom made easy. Defender men trailing Fried Hardman in Tennessee 17-13. That game is on 93.9 KSOU. And starting to think about next week, the women's team will be in Sioux City if they manage to hang on to this lead. Mayville State will try one more rally. Starting to run out of time, though. Shot on the layup, no good. But a foul on the play, and Mayville State will shoot more free throws. Rockel will go to the charity stripe. So 2 free throws on the way. First one is up and through. Well, 11 points from the free throw line so far in this half for Mayville State. Rockall makes 1 of 2 as that one rattles out. Mayville State with just 7 field goals to their credit. That was when they made the run, made a couple of threes. Gustafson back to Schoenhoven, and she's held on the play. And Janey will go to the free throw line to shoot 2 with 2:38 remaining in the contest. So the winner of this one advances on, and they will play. The winner will advance on and play next Tuesday night at 8 o'clock against the survivor of the Mid-America Christian, Sterling, Montana Western, and Philander Smith bracket. That's being played in Park City, Kansas. Schoenhoven makes both free throws, and the defenders lead 82-64. Schoenhoven with 14 hard-earned ones tonight, 11.7 points per game average. With it at the top of the key is Rust. Rust dribbling in. Rust with the right hand, scoops it up. And Rust with the basket. She's got 23 points, and Mayville State will use a timeout. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in 30 seconds. Dordt with the basketball as we resume play. 2:16 remaining. Sievers dribbling out front, picks up her dribble, passes it to Beckman. Beckman with it, posting up is Gustafson. They can't find her. Now Mayville State looks like a man-to-man defense. Sievers with it, back to Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven jumper, no good from the right elbow. And the rebound is controlled by Mayville State. It's 82-66. Comets with it. Decker back out front, 3 on the way, missed, no good. Rebound Beckman, and the Dordt defenders will bring the basketball up the floor slowly. This is Bailey Beckman. Beckman with it across half court. Beckman at the top of the key, left side it goes Sievers. Sievers with it. Sievers, high post, Gustafson tries to pass it into the paint to Schoenhoven, and the ball goes out of bounds, last touched by Mayville State. It'll be Dordt basketball. Well, Dordt, to hang on to the 16-point lead, will get the winner of will get the winner of Sterling and Montana Western. Pass underneath, comes back Schoenhoven. Right side it comes. Sievers, reversal, and threw it away, intended for Van Hollen. Ball goes out of bounds, last touched by Dordt. It'll be Mayville State basketball. Carly Gustafson will check out of the ball game with 26 points, and it looks like her night is done. Dordt by 16. Mayville State basketball with it. Helika back outside, gets the return pass. Her 3 missed, no good, and the rebound is controlled by Klecker. And Dordt will walk it up the floor. Sievers will take it across the timeline and will dribble out the shot clock. And the DeWitt Gym crowd that has made their way through the fog and drizzle for this one will rise in approval. Dordt by 16, and Dort's going to be playing next Tuesday night at 8 o'clock against the winner of Sterling and Montana Western. That'll be next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Currently, that's a nail-biter in Wichita. Remember, Sterling's the team that Dordt beat to get to Sioux City last season. 8 seconds to shoot for the defenders, and they'll dribble out the clock. Sievers at midcourt. And Dordt will give it up. Mayville State, in essence, conceding, not committing fouls there. And the Dordt defenders, Bailey Beckman, Macy Sievers, Faith Van Hollen, Janie Schoenhoven, and McKenna Klecker checked out of the ball game. Checking in, Bethany Vasika, Bailey Sievers, Maggie Walker, Brooklyn Hackbart, and Abby Postma on the floor to close it out. Mayville State basketball at midcourt. They bring it across half court. It's on the left-hand side. Brecken. Back to Halaka. Back outside. Three at the horn. No good. And the Dordt defenders are advancing to Sioux City, where they will face the winner of Montana Western and Sterling next Tuesday night at 8 o'clock for the right to move on to the quarterfinal round. So we've hit the round of 16. Dordt making back-to-back trips to Sioux City and the final site. And the Dordt defenders improving to 30-3 with a win here this evening. So the Dordt defenders will advance their team on the bracket, and they'll also receive their trophy. So the Dordt defenders are moving on to Sioux City. Trophy presentation, Ross Dalma, the director of athletics, gives the trophy, and that's the second one the Dordt defenders have. And now they will head to Sioux City, and they will play in the round of 16 next Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. Let's take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back with a wrap-up of tonight's women's college basketball contest right after this. Site now. You've a little disclaimer there. 3 years ago is when they began the first and second round sites at local venues, and then the final 16 advancing to Sioux City. But Dordt back-to-back trips to the final site, and they will play next Tuesday night at 8 o'clock against the winner of Sterling and Montana Western, and that has gone final. Dordt will play Montana Western next Tuesday at 8 o'clock, and that will be in the round of 16. Right now you're seeing on video, you're seeing the defenders cutting the net down, and I'm not sure that Coach Bill Harmson will make his way up to the broadcast area. Let's recap our contest. The Dordt defenders trailed early in this one, 11-2. Stormed back with a 10-0 run to lead 12-11. It was tied at 12 and 14, and the defenders never trailed again. They led 18-15 at the end of the first quarter. Led 49-34 at the end of the half, erupting for 31 points along the way, extending the lead to 15. Mayville State made one run at the defenders, got it down to a 10-point difference, 59-49, before Dordt settled in with a 13-point lead at the end of the period, 67-54, and from there on out it was a fair amount of Dordt just playing keep away and stiff-arming Mayville State, maintaining the lead and carrying it in for the 82-66 win. Let's take a look at those highlights, if we have them. And it looks like we do. Mayville State put together a little run, partly with some three-point shooting. C.J. Decker made a three. She also had 2 twos and a couple of free throws in the second half. Every time Mayville State made a little run, though, it seemed Dordt had an answer. Macy Sievers knocks down her three. That was her only basket of the second half. Erin Walker, one of her threes from the right corner. She had 2 in the second half. But Dordt's post play did a good job of drawing the defense and kicking it out. And Bailey Beckman made a three. Beckman for the second night in a row, a big second half. She ends up with 10 points, all of them, I believe, in the third period. Here are the numbers. Dordt, 31 of 52 from the floor, 60% shooting. 7 of 13 from the three-point line, 54%. 11 of 14 from the free throw line, 79%. Dordt had a 38-24 rebounding edge, and the defenders with 15 turnovers to Mayville State's 12. Dordt was led tonight by Carly Gustafson with 24 unofficially. And I can say officially now as I look at the stats, 9 of 14 from the floor, 6 of 8 on free throws. 14 points for Jeannie Schoenhoven and Macy Nielsen. Nielsen with all of those in the first half. Bailey Beckman, 10 points all in the third quarter. 7 for Faith Van Hollen, 7 for Macy Sievers, 4 for Eliana Caparis. Faith Van Hollen ends with 8 rebounds, 7 for Macy Sievers tonight, 6 for Hayden Hymanson. Sievers also had 6 assists, and she had 3 steals. For Mayville State, they were led by Jordan Zrust with 23 points on 8 of 14 shooting. 13 points for Erin Walker. 11 for C.J. Decker. 9 for Mertens, 8 for Hughes, 1 each for Rockel and Dean. Zrust also had 8 rebounds. She's listed as a senior. I don't know if she's got a COVID year that she's going to use or anything like that, but she ends, if this is her last game, she goes out with a bang, 23 points and 8 rebounds. So the Dordt defenders defeat Mayville State 82-66, a little shaky at the beginning, and the defenders close it out with a 16-point win. Let's take one more 2-minute break, and we'll be back to wrap things up from Sioux Center right after this 2-minute timeout.
Hi, I'm Quentin Olson. I'm from Homeland, Wisconsin, and my favorite thing about the Dordt Media Network is that all the productions are student ran. With little guidance, we get to do everything you see on the screen by ourselves. I'd like to shout out my friends and family back home. Thanks for watching the Dordt Media Network.
My name is Sean Solano. I'm a junior here at Dordt, and I'm from Managua, Nicaragua. I love working for the Dordt Media Network because the people I get to work with, learning the amazing camera operating system, and being able to watch all the games, especially a great way to spend my Fridays and Saturdays. Thanks for watching the Dordt Media Network.
Well, not such good news over in Tennessee. The Freed Hardman has a 32-17 lead on the Dordt defenders with 3:26 left to go in the half. So a 15-point margin. And the Dordt defenders, the celebration continues as they'll be headed to Sioux City. Other scores tonight in NAIA basketball: Montana Western over Sterling, 72-68. That means Montana Western is Dordt's next foe on Tuesday night of next week. Dakota State with a 12-point lead on Eastern Oregon. They're trying to advance on to the final site as well. Earlier it was GPAC member Concordia losing to Thomas More, 98-69. Briar Cliff got an 8-point win over Indiana Tech, 87-79. They'll be in Sioux City. And Jamestown will be playing in about 20 minutes. They are facing Carroll for the right to move on to Sioux City. So that is going to do it for our broadcast this evening. Hopefully we can catch up with Coach Bill Harmson tomorrow for our coaches show, and we'll have him on coaches show potentially. So we'll catch up with him and we'll post that on our website as well. So that is going to do it. A thank you to our Dordt Media Network crew, and also a thank you to Cody Vandenberg back at the KIHK studios, Sioux County Radio, keeping us pointed in the right direction as well this evening. Dordt advances with an 82-66 win tonight over Mayville State. That is going to do it for all of those folks. I'm Mike Biker. Have a good night.